Chapter 14 Pain. I looked up through glassy eyes, looking into Dylan's stormy orbs, my head thumping. Gayla took hold of my face, turning it until I was looking at her, her face masked with concern. We need to get you home, she stated, pulling into a standing position and wrapping her arms around me, supporting most of my weight. What happened? Asked a concerned Jard as he wheeled over quickly, attempting to reach out to me, but my mate growled in response. No one touch her, ordered Dylan, causing Gayla to snuffle, shaking her head. I've I get that you're worried about her, Dylan, but you do not get to tell her what to do when tell me what to do when my best friend is going through something like this. How is this happening so fast anyway? I haven't heard of it starting this quickly. I'm an alpha Gala. The process is very different to other wolves. Dylan growled. His jaw tensed after hearing Gala's harsh tone. Someone tell me what the hell is going on, demanded my brother. Please don't fight. I just want to sleep, I mumbled, scrunching my nose up, rubbing at my temples. We'll get you home, offered Gayla, causing me to shake my head. I don't want my dad to see me like this. I know it's only going to get worse, I replied. You can stay with me, said Dylan, grabbing my hands and squeezing it gently, causing tingles to dance along my skin. It almost felt as if the sharp pain in my stomach dulled due to Dylan's touch, warming me up from inside, causing me to smile to myself. Gayla shook her head, flicking her brows. Is that really a good idea? Dylan sighed, pinching the bridge of his nose, letting go of my hand and taking a few deep breaths, attempting to calm himself. You're right. She needs to be somewhere safe. She is safe. What are you talking about? Asked Jard, running his hands through his ear, wheeling up to me, glancing into my glassy eyes. Clara, what's going on? Gayla raised her eyebrows at me, her mouth set in a firm line, causing me to sigh, nodding my head. Tell him, I whispered. She's in heat, replied Gayla, causing Jard to blink quickly, taking in the information. How can she be in heat? She doesn't have a mate, questioned my short brother. I looked over at Dylan, his jawline tense due to grinded teeth, the muscles slowly moving as he swallowed. The sight of him made my muscle tense up, including down below, which made Dylan clear his throat, turning away as he hung his head back, running his hands down his face in frustration. Suddenly, Jared's eyes widened, and he looked between Dylan and I, his brows flickering. Is he? I nodded, shooting my little brother a regretful expression, feeling guilty for not mentioning it to him sooner. You didn't tell me or Dad, he mumbled, shaking his head at me. I was going to, I replied. You were just so down about the fact that you couldn't be a good fighter. I didn't want to add another issue to the mix. You thought I would be upset that you find your mate? Asked George, shaking his head. I replied with a nod, dropping my glance. Clara, am I jealous that other people can walk and I can't? Hell yes, but that's because it's something I'll never be able to do. You finding your mate hasn't made me upset because I know mine is out there waiting for me, and it's going to make dealing with all of this being paralyzed crap worth it. I'm not upset. I'm happy for you and Dad will be too. Thank you. I'm sorry, I said with teary eyes, pulling Jared in for a hug, wrapping my arms around him tightly, rubbing his back. I am going to miss you though when you eventually leave to go and become a Loa, or Lona, whatever. Those are some big shoes to fill, said Jared, smiling, pulling away from the hug. Clara, you're sort of heavy, mourned Gia, who was struggling to hold my weight, letting out a deep sigh. Where are we going? Can we start to make a move? I'll take her, said my mate, wrapping his arms around me and picking me up bridal style, causing me to let out a little yap. He started smoothing my soaring skin. I think it's best if she comes to mine. I can look after her, suggested Gia, gaining a confused look from my mate. I still need to be with her. I'm not leaving her in this state. And like she said, it's only going to get worse. Gia nodded, signing. Clara, are you okay with this? It's your decision. I nodded, pressing my fingers harder into the back of Dylan's neck, trying to tighten my grip, enjoying the feeling of having him so close. I'll head home and tell Dad, called Jared, as he started to wheel away, giving me one last concerned look. Nerves overtook me as I thought about how my dad would react, knowing he wouldn't take the news lightly. I was hoping and praying he wouldn't come racing over to Gala's, demanding to see me without a huge scene. My head thumped as Dylan began to walk, each step causing me to groan to myself with pain. I know I'm sorry, mumbled my man, caressing me softly with his fingers. Gayla, do you have anything I can take to get rid of the pain? I asked her. I'll have to look I'll have a look in the cabinet, but I don't think it can make the pain from the eat go. Gayla stopped mid-sentence after Dylan shoot her a glance, causing her to clear her throat, scratching at the back of her neck as she continued to walk, speeding up so she was in front of Dylan and I. We round the corner and I signed to myself in relief as Gayla's house came into view. I was hoping our parents wouldn't question us much, but I knew they would be a little uptight sometimes, causing panic to settle in. Gayla will stay with you tonight, okay? I don't want anything to happen that you might regret, whispered Dylan in my ears, his huskiness causing my inner wolf to howl, begging me to pull him to me for a kiss. Where are you gonna sleep? I need you to stay, I said, distress raising in my voice. Yeah, don't worry, said Dylan calmly. I can stay. I just need Gayla to stay with you too. I nodded, pressing my head into his chest, his sturdy heartbeat comforting my wolf. Okay, mumbled Gayla as she opened her front door for us, gesturing for Dylan to follow her upstairs towards our bedroom. My parents aren't here right now. They'll probably be back later on though. So if there's going to be any sex, please just keep it as quiet as possible. Gia, warned Dylan, settling me down gently on Gia's large king-side bed. I snuggled into the pillow, pushing the seats away from my foot, not enjoying the sensation of them touching my burning skin. Should I run a cold bath for you? It will cool you down, offered Gia, causing me to nod eagerly. Once she left the room, I turned to Dylan, pulling him down on the bed with me, snuggling up to his chest. Clara, this is dangerous, growled Dylan, huskily swallowing harshly. I need you here, I wheezed, snuggling at my painful abdomen, flickering my brows. Okay, replied my mate, running his hands through my dark hair, massaging my scalp, causing me to mourn. No, Clara, please. Don't do that. No, Clara, don't do that, please. I chuckled to myself, a rosal flowing throughout my body, filling my veins almost overflowing. I caressed Dylan's jaw as I studied him, gently pulling his lips to mine, kissing him passionately. I moved my lips against his, almost mourning into his mouth, enjoying the feeling of having my mate so close to me. Dylan cuffed my cheeks with one hand and the other trailing up and down my thighs, causing a shiver of pleasure to run down my spine. I ran my hands down Dylan's bare chest, tracing the lines of his defined muscles, gaining a growl from him, telling me he was enjoying it. Suddenly, Gayla opened the door, jumping back as she taken the scene in front of her. Oh, sorry. It's fine. She needs a bath, said Dylan, snuggling me up in his arms, carrying me into Gia's ensuite. I gazed down at the freezing cold water, my smarting skin yearning for it. I started to flimble with the end of my spandex shorts, grabbing them to pull them down, but Gia stopped me, shaking my head. Dylan cleared his throat, swallowing as he watched me, his eyes fixed on my fingers that were playing with the hem of my thin shorts. His eyes were pitch black, and my wolf could sense his arousal, causing my breathing rate to quicken. Dylan, go watch some TV or something, ordered Gayla, watching him attentively. as he slowly knocked, exiting the room. I ripped at my clothes, sinking into the cold water in the tub, ducking my head underneath until I was fully submerged. The ice cold water felt like pure bliss against my skin, causing me to sigh to myself in delight. I stayed in the tub for what felt like hours, but the clock insisted it had only been 45 minutes. I knew my heat was getting worse due to the cold water no longer keeping the fire at bay. My skin seemed to feel hotter by the second, and eventually it became unbearable. I leaped out of the tub, almost slipping on the wet tiles and pulling on the fresh clothes Gayla had laid out for me, holding back tears as the fabric felt like needles piercing my pale skin. I pushed the bathroom door open, revealing a shocked Gayla watching a movie from her bed. Hey, how are you feeling? She asked, her eyebrows flickering. I feel like I'm dying, I yelled, causing Gayla to rush over to me, leading me to the bed. I know, it's okay, she smoothed. No, no, it hurts, I yelled, the pillows muffin my scream as I ripped at my skin, just wanting to rid myself of the burning feeling. Clara, stop! You're going to hurt yourself, begged Gia, attempting to pin my wrist to the bed, but I wiggled out of her grasp, kicking at the sheets. Suddenly, Gia's bedroom door burst open, revealing a wide-eyed Dylan, his chest havocing. He rushed over to me, grabbing my wrist, pulling me to him, stroking my saggy hair. Shh! Clara, stop it. It's okay. I can't, I cried, shaking my head. I can't do this. You can, smoothed my maid, rubbing my back, causing tingles to rub. Make it go away. I wheeled, rubbing at my tear-struck face. Clara, I can't, mumbled Dylan, shutting his eyes and grifting his teeth. I'm sorry. Clara, do you want to sleep? It will make the pain go away, asked Gia, her face masked with worry. Lay down, said Dylan, gently placing me down with my head on the pillow as Gia pulled the curtains close, darkness taking over the room. I'll go and make some food for you for when you wake up, said Gia, swiftly exiting the room. Stay with me, I whispered to my mate, causing him to reluctantly nog. Lying down next to me, I snuggled up to him, my wolf howling with delight. I wanted Dylan, but I didn't want it to happen like this. I was more than grateful for Dylan's thoughtfulness and self control, although I could tell it pained him to see me like this. He traced circles on my back as I closed my eyes, attempting to drift off to sleep, trying to ignore the burning sensation I was feeling throughout my entire body. You're going to be okay, he whispered to me, smoothing me. I was hoping he was right.